Hello. I've recently had an experience with a really bad dose of flu and still not out of the woods yet, but feeling so much better than I did. Now, a lot of people have asked over the time I've been making videos, how do I cope with illness and that sort of thing in a small confined space? Well, to be honest, I found it absolutely easier to survive because mainly everything is very close. You only have to kind of reach out and you can turn a light on, um, grab anything that you might need in the way of medicines, water, that sort of thing. You're not. What I found was the most annoying factor was lack of energy, just absolutely drained of energy. And when you're feeling like that, you don't really want to be walking for miles to a toilet or to make something to eat or get something to drink. So, but there was one drawback, and that was the bed that I have in this van, as some of you will know, is up quite high. So when I had a coughing fit in the night, which happened regularly, um, I would have to actually get out of the bed and lay on the couch in a more upright position because I couldn't do that while in bed because I just don't have the headroom. But luckily, I've made the couch comfortable with the same kind of foam that I've got on the bed as a spare bed for anyone who may want to stay. So it was more than comfortable. But there's nothing nicer than being able to lay flat while you're sleeping. It's not as comfortable sitting up. But when you're ill, you just have to do the best that you can with what you've got and try and get through it. Although I was losing my patience, I must admit. I was not happy. I get very impatient when things don't happen quickly. Anyway, other than the issue with the bed, everything else was fine. Now, the key thing I found for myself is I'm a bit of a Boy Scout, Girl Guide, whatever you want to call it. And I always ensure that my medicine cabinet is always got my lozenges, my cough medicines, that sort of thing. I always have them there just in case, because 9 times out of 10, when you first get a tickle, sore throat, it'll happen in the middle of the night, which is what happened to me. And being able to have those on hand straight away is very beneficial. I think it helps nip things in the bud. Although having said this, this cold flu has gone on for 2 weeks. This is the third week. So yeah, preparation is key. The other thing is to make sure that you have your pantry full to the brim with something that is easy to prepare. Now I found I had these sachets of soup, so they're actually a liquid, and they pack really well because they're in like a tinfoil bag, so you can stack them up quite well, and they were very thick, nutritious soups. And I found more than anything, I just craved something liquid. So the soups were a great alternative to my lack of appetite and just a craving to have fluids. And so it just meant popping them in a pot, bringing them up to temperature. And I even admit I ate out of the pot because it meant no dishes, which is what you've got to do. Let's face it, when you're ill, you cut the corners any way you want as long as the job gets done and you get healthy again. Now, the other thing is to, as I say, is to make sure that you've got stocks of fluid. I had some lovely herbal um, drink in a bottle. It's a fizzy drink, but it's got all sorts of herbs in it, including rhubarb and aloe. And it's made here in New Zealand, but it was delicious and really hit the spot. So the other important thing, of course, is to make sure that friends and family know that you're ill and they can pop in and check on you if need be, or if you need anything that you do run out of, you can call on them to get it for you. And I'm sure, just as we would for our friends and family, wouldn't hesitate to help. So are my family and friends, more than caring enough to be able to help me out in my hour of need. Now, some of the other things that I found so beneficial was actually utilising any sunny day to get out of the confines of the camper and sit in my camp chair in the sun in a nice draft-free place. And I just was able to sit up, close my eyes and sit in the sun. And that, honestly, was amazing, the difference that when I started to do that, how much I improved. And the other thing was walking barefoot on the ground, on the grass. I found that my energy levels really improved once I started to do that. So that was one thing. But I think the most important thing when you're ill is self-care. And if you have a craving, which I did for blueberries, and they're an exorbitant price at the moment, and you're not eating much else, do what your body is asking you for. If it's asking for blueberries, jolly well give it blueberries, which is what I did. And I think that when you start to treat your own body with care and respect, it does really help it heal fast. And we're taught from a very early age to save. Save your money for your retirement, save your money for this, that, and other thing. But unless you're going to have a goal where you free up those savings when they're needed, such as in the instance of being ill, that's the time to draw on those savings and to get yourself well, because at the end of the day, health is our most, you can't put a price on it, can you? And especially as I've got older, I'm finding it harder to shift flus and colds. And so therefore, I owe it to my poor old body that served me so well. I owe it some of those extra treats that it might need. So, well, I hope you have had a lovely week, or continue to have one. I'm improving every day, and I'm so grateful for that. And I look forward to seeing you all here again very, very soon. So thank you so much for sharing this time with me. I really appreciate you. So until next time, bye for now.